joined by a couple of my favorite people in the world. Introduce yourselves.
Hey everyone, I'm AK Games. Nice to be back after a couple weeks.
I'm wrecked. Yeah, definitely. It's been 2 weeks now, right? The first week you guys were at the convention. Last week was the holiday weekend.
Yep.
So now it's our first week back. So I'm excited for sure.
Awesome. So what's been going on with you guys? AK, fill us in.
Yeah. So I just came back from Vegas. It was pretty fun, very tiring. And I've been to a couple concerts too. So I'm just kind of a little sick, but I'm pushing through for the podcast. I'm also glad because in Vegas I stopped at a few game stores that I'll probably be posting about later, but I'll definitely
Awesome.
be showing them, in the podcast during our show and tell section. So really excited to show you guys what I got and stuff like that. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. He's all partied out from Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Rec.
Uh, Not much, dude. Just I mean, same old, just working and being a dad. I mean, nothing too crazy. I did do a lot of game hunting. I am excited also about the show and tell section because I've got, and I'll go through them quick, but when it's time. But I got about 32 games to show you guys.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so the PS2 Pursuit has been going pretty good. Got some really cool stuff in the works coming up that I've been working on, and yeah, dude, it's been great. So
That's good. That's good. So as for me, as mentioned before, I was a guest actually at Retro World in Connecticut. Myself and BlakRanger, we had a fantastic time. I am currently working on that vlog amongst some other episodes. I'll make a little announcement about uh the I guess pretty imminent future to come with the channel. Some things to expect. Had a good time, got some great stuff. I'll show a little bit today, just to kind of you guys a sneak peek of what I got on the trip. But other than that, working same old. But let's get into this
wait, hold on.
crazy.
I got a question for you about what you did. So was this the first time that you were like an official like content creator guest at a show?
Yes, yeah,
Then
yeah. It was my first time. Yeah.
then tell everybody that shit, bro. Be proud of that. That was dope, dude. Like that's so cool, man.
Thank you. So it's my first time being a guest and a panelist at any convention. So
That's
shout
awesome.
out to Chris and Lance of Pixel Game Squad. Thank you for the opportunity. It was a blast. We had a great time. But
Yeah, dude. Congratulations on that, man. That's a huge
thank you.
milestone, man. Very proud of you, dude. You and French. That's so awesome.
I appreciate you. Get you some friends like Mike when he's being behaved and not unhinged.
Don't hey,
He's
then don't mention the Dreamcast on this podcast
oh
then.
my god. Oh my god. All right, guys. So let's talk about the crazy things that's been going on in the gaming world. We had a couple of events that kind of set the internet on fire.
Yeah.
Trying to decide which way I want to go first. Um, let's start with GameStop Retro. GameStop officially announces that some of their locations will be GameStop Retro locations where they will be carrying retro games and consoles.
Yeah.
So, have either of you been to a GameStop?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
a
sure.
lot.
Well, one of the retro locations, I should say.
um,
So no, not yet. So I was just in a GameStop literally on Friday. Was it Thursday or Friday? I can't remember. Anyway, and I was talking to the manager that I'm buddies with, and I was bringing it up to him because I was like, dude, you guys have been selling retro for a while now. Like this isn't something new. So like, what's the deal with that? And he's like, well, yeah, we've had retro, but we weren't really advertising it like that. But there's 4 GameStops in my city. And I asked him, I said, well, has one of the 4 been designated the retro, location? And he said, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not the one I go to. It's the furthest one from me. But basically, what he said, the way it's working from this point on is when retro games come in to any of the other 3 locations, they are directed to box those up, ship those in so that they can get sent to the official retro location.
mm,
And they don't want stores that aren't retro locations keeping those retro games. They want them all compiled into one store. And I have my thoughts on that, on why they're doing that. A lot of that I think has to do with the fact that they just don't have the inventory to stock every store in every city with retro games. So they're trying to compact them down into one location. So maybe it looks like they have more. I don't know. But yeah, I haven't been to the location since they became the official retro store, because I was asking him how's the stock on that, because he manages more than one store in my city.
Right.
And he was like, honestly, dude, I have no idea, because that's one I don't manage. But I mean, we're told to send all our stuff there. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, every GameStop I've been in, you see some good stuff once in a while, but primarily you're gonna see a lot of Xbox 360 and a lot of PS3 is like
Yeah.
primarily what you're gonna see.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So since you guys haven't been, I actually went to one, right? And I actually was gonna shoot some content. So I had the great idea. There's 4 in my area.
Wow.
Well, relatively in my area, not like directly. Each store was like 25 minutes in like opposite directions. So they're spread out. So I just picked one random one that was probably the closest. I went in there thinking like, okay, I'm going to shoot. This should be interesting because, of course, we're watching everything online, people posting and stuff like that. And went in there and I was wouldn't say disappointed, just because I didn't know what to expect. For one, I didn't really know what the layout was going to be. Like, I personally think it should be a fully retro store for the most part, or at least the overall design of the store. Like, literally, this store was just a corner with just, like he said, PS3, Xbox 360, some Wii U, and up at the front they put those mini cases back up there with the Game Boy games and stuff. So probably the best thing I saw was Super Mario RPG on the SNES and Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening on the Game Boy Color. But it was like a very, very small selection.
Question: what were they asking for on that Mario RPG? I'm just curious, just because I want to know what their prices look like where you're at.
Price charting about $90.
$90. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and I actually saw that when I was in Virginia a few weeks ago. They actually had a Felix Cat on the NES. So I'm like, all right, bet. Let me see what's up. Went in there and they wanted $100 for it, which is price charting. It's right on. I mean, fair enough. I just think that overall, just the appearance, I think they should work on that. And hopefully maybe the other stores have a better stock. I doubt it, just because Maryland we suck when it comes to, the thrift store stuff. I don't know where they source their retro stuff. Now, obviously, they're getting trade-ins and stuff like that, but I don't know outside of that how and where they source it. So
basically,
we'll just see moving forward.
Well, the manager had told me that they are directed, when they get retro games in, they are directed to ship them in to basically corporate, and then corporate supposedly is supposed to divvy up the games amongst their retro locations, is what I was told. So I don't know, they have like a warehouse or somewhere or some place, and they basically get these games in and they decide which ones they're going to sell online, which ones are going to go to stores, and they kind of spread them out, I guess.
Right. Yeah, and I could kind of see that happening, but I think for me personally, I've seen other people in their stories made videos about it, and their stores seem to be promising. Prime example being Mr. Rightway. He made a video that is performing well. And actually GameStop posted it on their website. So he's out in Texas. So whatever location he went to looked like it had a very, very nice collection of games. So really, I think it's going to depend on your area. And like Mike was saying, one of my local stores, like probably one of the closest ones to me, they're not retro, but they were carrying retro. And it was like one of those things, like Mike said, you got to kind of ask them. So I'm cool with the guy. So he'll tell me, comes in, but he's a collector. So a lot of times he's grabbing it up. I'll just kind of ask him what came in or whatever. I don't feel any type of way, but he's gotten some pretty cool stuff in. But I'm pretty sure now they're probably sending them out, like you said, for them to divvy it up amongst these retro locations.
It doesn't
Mhm.
surprise me that the Texas store near Steve does well because GameStop's corporate office, their main hub is based in Texas. Like that's where they're from. So, I mean, I that's the same thing with like my local GameStops. A lot of the employees that work there, including managers, are collectors. So the good stuff kind of gets snatched up and
Yeah.
we don't get a chance at it, which, I mean, hey, they work there. It's one of the perks of getting to work there. But it sucks because like all the good stuff is hard to come by.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed because I have a lot of game stops next to me, but like none of them are retro. They have a locator though, a retro store locator on the
On the
GameStop's
website.
website. Yeah,
Hmm.
and I typed in my zip code and tell me why the nearest one. So there's two by me within the
Hmm.
radius. The
Okay.
nearest one is 20 miles away.
Jeez.
And
And
then
that's like the furthest. Like I think when you put the setting in, you can
yeah,
justify the mileage.
yeah.
That's
The nearest one's 20, and then the next one is like 1 mile up from that. I'm like, see, but I do know there is one kind of by me that was selling retro games because I remember walking in there and I saw the PS3 games, so that's why I was like related when you said PS3 or Xbox games because I walked in and I saw PS3 games, but I was still like really surprised by that because I haven't seen anything like that sold in a GameStop in I don't know how long. So I picked up
Yeah.
like Mirror's Edge, I think, or something because I haven't seen that in a minute. But yeah, I picked up Mirror's Edge when I saw it. But yeah, I do know they
yeah.
were like selling them for a while, but I'm excited to like go in there and see like the new selection I have. I guess I mean I go to like this location sometimes, I guess, but I'm definitely gonna have to check it out next time I'm out there. But it's a distance, so I'm gonna have to hike.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like um, I don't know. I think that as time goes on, because they just officially announced it, right? Like made the big
Mm-hmm.
post and all that. I feel like over time their stock may get better because like more casual players or parents or grandparents or people that are just like normal, not collectors and stuff like normal people are gonna know, oh, they take the old stuff now, so they'll bring it into them. Um, but like for me, like the best deal I had ever gotten at GameStop, it kind of blew me away. And I did a video on it like months ago. But like I walked into a GameStop at the mall and I picked up close to $1,000 in PS1 games for like
Wow.
290 bucks. And I was kind of blown away. Like, dude, when I walked in, like I wasn't even planning on buying anything at GameStop that day. I was just at the mall with my family and I walked in at the right time, the right place, and I was looking at the back counter, and there was literally two giant stacks of PS1 games, and I'm like looking, and I asked the lady, I'm like, hey, are those for sale? And she goes, oh yeah, the gentleman literally just traded those in maybe 30 minutes ago, and
Wow.
I'm like, can I look at them? She's like, absolutely. Dude, I got price charting out on my phone and I'm like scanning them and I'm like looking at the prices of them and I'm like, yeah, I'll just buy all of them. And the lady looks and is like, all of them? I'm like, yep, every single one. And the most expensive game I got in that lot is a game called Shadow Tower for the PlayStation 1. It is a horror themed RPG. It's first person. It kind of is like, I mean, maybe like an Elder Scrolls kind of style. Um, that is considered one of the rarest, most expensive PlayStation 1 games in existence, and it goes for about $350 to $400. I bought it for $80 from GameStop. Um, I got a copy of Vagrant Story, which is a $100 game. I paid $26 for it, so on and so forth. Every game I got that day was well under price charting. Like literally spent 300 bucks. It came out to like $900 in value, which I took all of those games, well, most of them, traded them into my buddy who owns a game store and was able to get my copy of Rule of Rose. And that's how I was able to get that, was because of GameStop. But my next question is though, because like I had told this story to my friend that works at GameStop and she's able to pull up trade-in values of like
Mhm.
any game that's in their system. And I was like, look, I paid $80 for this $350 game. And she was like, yeah, you want to know how much we gave that poor guy in trade-in credit? And I was like, how much? And she was like, 20 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him $20 for a
Not surprised.
$350 game. Like,
See,
dude.
and that's probably gonna be their downfall. And that was actually a question I was trying to figure out. Like, what is their ratio to trade value and what they give? Because we all know GameStop is great. Their game value, trading value sucks. Like
Mhm.
unless it's a
100%.
newer game, like within the first couple of weeks, or some game that I guess people are requesting, because they'll always say they got those bonuses added or whatever. Um, but other than that, like that was the thing that I felt like, yeah, you guys, that's maybe for the commons, which isn't bad. It gives people another option to find stuff. But I don't know about some of the more rare things. If you're in the know, I should say.
Yeah, I mean the crazy thing is like again a copy of Vagrant Story. They gave him like $8 for it, but see they gave him $8, but they only sold it for 26, right? But
Well, yeah,
the game is valued at 100. So like if you knew that, like if that gentleman knew this, right?
Mhm.
Like he could have took Shadow Tower into any mom and pop retro shop and cleared $250 on that game, like because it's gonna sell. It's one of the rarest games. Like Vagrant Story, it's one of the most popular RPGs on the PlayStation 1. He could have probably got 50, $60 for it and the store would have flipped it for 100, right? So like, but they don't know. And so I think that's what GameStop is kind of banking on to stock their retro shelves, is like people that don't know any better are going to come in and trade these in. But in GameStop's defense, they didn't give them $20 and then flip the game for 350, right?
that's true.
They sold it for $80, right? So that's another question, is like GameStop selling these games at such low prices, like cuz I haven't seen any good deals on Nintendo stuff. Nintendo's usually at price charting or even above, I've seen, especially like Wii and GameCube and stuff. But like, is GameStop doing this now mainstream? Is that going to kind of change the market? Is that going to set like because if I can go into GameStop and get Shadow Tower for $80, why would I go to a mom and pop store and pay 350?
And that's a
Mhm.
great point. Maybe it really depends on how it depends on us, the people that's buying and selling
Yeah.
it, whether or not we're going to utilize. Now, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say no, because when you think about it logically, right, the real collectors, we're going to do our research. We are not going to GameStop to trade in stuff,
Oh yeah,
right? Like
absolutely
you know what I'm
not.
saying? We're not doing that.
Yeah.
So it could potentially, and again, the areas make a difference too, because some people
Mhm.
don't have mom and pop stores, like Alyssa said, 20 miles. So that may be the closest thing to her, where she's kind of like, all right, I don't have any other options.
Yeah.
So let me just make this ride, and this is the only place I could potentially trade it in. So in those situations, yes, and it may work out for Alyssa both ways. You know what I'm saying? From trading in and purchasing. But that's
Yeah.
really to me going to depend on the location. And yeah, you're gonna get some casuals, but that's about it. And I'm not going to be super surprised if mom and pop stores start going into those GameStops and buying those games, especially if it's not anything crazy overpriced or anything like that. I'm sure they're plugged in with the local stores. They normally pretty much work together, from what
Yeah.
I've seen anyway.
Yeah, cuz I used to see like, before they started doing retro, GameStop, like people would bring stuff in to trade and GameStop would be like, "No, we don't take that, but this mom and pop store right over there does," and like they kind of would send, people with looking for retro or trying to sell retro, they would send them to other stores that did it. But I
Right.
don't know, like, I mean, I don't know if they'll do that anymore because that's now part of their business.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm not sure. Let's hit this comment section up, 'cause we had some activity in here.
Yep,
Got
I
my
got
boy
some
Ayo
questions
Mega
here.
in here. Shout out to him. He said keep checking random game styles. You'll be surprised. And shout out to Ayo Mega. Follow him on YouTube and Instagram. He definitely has been finding some really good games in his area GameStop. I believe he's in Georgia somewhere. So he's been making out really well. My boy Glenn. We're gonna have that face off between Glenn and Mike today.
Oh, here we go.
I was thinking that.
We got the Sega guy back in the chat.
Shout out to my boy Glenn. He said we have a few retro game styles near me, but pretty much all of the regular ones have retro section and varies. Yeah, so
Yeah.
kind of the same. Especially, it also is going to depend on what's around that GameStop too.
Yeah.
That's also going to play a role, obviously. We got BlakRanger who's supposed to be in here.
Yeah, where you at,
And
dude?
GameStop messed up when they originally got rid of all the retro stuff and with all modern, but it did open the door for a lot of mom and pop retro stores. Yeah,
Yeah, for
in
sure.
some ways, yeah, that's
I
true.
I think GameStop really screwed up if when they got rid of retro and they pushed the collectibles that nobody wanted over games, like where the store became like 75% like random like collectibles and random toys and stuff that like nobody asked for. And it's like, dude, this is a game store. If I wanted toys, I'll go to Walmart, like, or I'll get them online. Like, I'm here for video games.
They
Yeah.
messed up a lot, in my opinion. Like, I feel like if there was a whole episode about GameStop, I could rant the whole hour just by myself.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know the thing about that, like, as many mistakes GameStop has made, for us collectors, we've benefited off of a lot.
Yeah.
Truth be told, because a lot of those games that jump up in value, or especially like in the digital marketplace, which a lot of those shut down, but a lot of times in the digital space, it's not always great sales. You probably have better chance going in the GameStop and getting that game physically
For
way
cheaper.
cheaper, you know.
Absolutely.
So, and then when they have their markdowns, they have their power rewards, the members days and stuff like that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we've made out on stuff like that. So I always have, you know, certain appreciation for GameStop in
That,
regards to that.
well, that's another thing too that people I don't think realize. So GameStop, they'll do these promotional deals all the time where it's like buy 2 used games, get 1 free,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, yep.
the 4 for
4 for 20,
20,
4
4
for
for
10.
40, you know,
Mhm.
right? So like a lot of people need to understand that their retro games are not in their own category. They are considered used games. So when you get a buy 2 get 1 free on used games, that applies to retro, and you can mix and match that with modern and retro.
That's true.
You know, the 4 for 20, where you can get 4 $10 games for $20, or 4 $20 games for $40. So basically you're getting 2 for free,
Right.
right? So
Yep.
like those deals apply for retro. So like keep an eye out for that, man. Like you walk in and get a stack of games for half the price.
Do you guys
Or
as
free.
like mom and pop shops not do that? Because the ones by me do. Like, they give deals. Like, I know I got a couple games for free at the one I go to by my house.
My stores never do something like that. Like they might I mean, okay, in their defense though, they give really really good trade-in credit. Like I'm
Um,
like amazing trade-in credit. Whereas like if I brought like okay, when I brought Shadow Tower into my buddy's store, he gave me $250 or $275 for it.
oh my
That's
gosh.
Like
nuts.
he'll give, you know, he told me straight up, he's like, look, if you bring me in the common stuff that's going to sit on my shelf forever, I'll give you 35%, right? Because it's going to sit forever. It's a $5 game, whatever. I can't give you $4 for a $5 game. But
Right.
if you bring me something good that I know I can flip, like if you bring me a Mario game that's, you know, like for example Mario RPG, if it's $100 game and it's Mario RPG, I'll give you $75 for it and make a quick 25 off of you. Like,
Mhm.
you know, so they don't really do like crazy deals, like, you know, the buy one get one free or anything like that. But if you're bringing stuff into trade, dude, they really hook it up, like at least at my
Yeah.
stores around me.
Yeah. Like around me, it's not really like that. The only time I've seen that happen is really like Black Friday. But
Yeah.
I'm good friends with my favorite store. Shout out to Play Raven in Eldersburg, Maryland. Shout out to Joe, the owner. He always hooks me up. I've gotten he will throw in games for free, and he'll even tell me just like, all right, you know, bring me something good out. You know, add a little extra credit because I took some stuff in there that was like, you know, of course you guys know I've been liquidating anything that's not Nintendo, and I've gotten some stuff, gotten credit where it's like, damn, I got $50 for that. Like, and I'm shocked. I'm happy about it. So, you know, a
Yeah.
lot of it is relationships. But last weekend, it's a store like 45 minutes away from me, Cartridges Galore. They had, they'll send out text messages and media bombs saying like they always do one freebie a month. So they consistently will do sales like that. And they were actually giving away a wireless, one of those Retro Fighter Switch controllers.
Yeah.
They said they had 500, right? So I got it. I seen the text 20 minutes before they opened, and it's 45 minutes away. So I'm like, all right, 500. I get there a little under an hour. They've been open. I should be all right. Get there, gone. So it was misleading because they didn't say it was spread over the store. So they only had like 50, but they had mad people going in there. I was a little ticked off, but I did have some stuff sitting in the car I was able to trade some stuff in, so it wasn't a complete waste. But that store does do regular trade-ins or sales and stuff like that, where it's like 50% off of these games on this shelf, or buy two get one, and things like that. But yes, GameStop has been clutch. That Wii U collection, the majority of that came from GameStop, and I want to say a good 30 to 35% of my Wii U collection was free during that buy two get two. I went to every store in Maryland on Black Friday, and they even allowed you to the point where if I only found one there, I could take my receipt, go to the next store. If I found another game, they will re-ring it so I get the discount.
That's cool.
So yeah, I made out big time when it came to that Wii U set.
Oh, so I got 2 questions in my chat for everybody. So Novelist asks, are you guys excited that Croc is coming back? The 3D platformer Croc from the PS1 era.
I personally think it's a crock of no, I'm kidding.
I've never played Croc.
I never played it either.
If I'm being honest, I recognize the cover I remember it very clearly. I just never, that was not a platformer on the PS1 I played. I was more playing Spyro and playing Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I played it a couple times. I didn't put like any serious work in it, but I love platformers, and that was one of the better ones I think back in during that time. So
yeah,
is that going to be a multi-plat release, or what is it dropping on?
I have no idea. See if they're still in chat. They might respond. And then the other question is Solomon McNeil asks, what new video games are you guys waiting for? For me, it's the new Zelda that drops this month, and Silent Hill 2 that comes out October 8th, the remake.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited for both of those. I did pre-order the Zelda Switch Lite. My wife was like, that's your early Christmas gift. That's what you're getting. I'm like, that's cool.
Pre-ordered too. I'm excited about that. I kind of forgot, and then I realized like we're rolling into September. I'm like, oh shit, we got a couple weeks. I'm about to get that Switch Lite. Go pick it up. But I pre-ordered mine from Best Buy. Best Buy, listen to me clearly. I need a second. Do not put one of those stupid pickup stickers on that box. I'm telling you, I'm going to lose my mind. Do not do it. Do not do it. You know they do that, but the games, you know, the box don't have the plastic. Do not do that. I'm telling you, I'm going to raise all.
Yeah, because you better take a hair dryer to it and get that thing off.
No, they better don't put it on there. Do not put it on there. I hate when they do that. Especially if it's something I don't mind on a game with the plastic, but I kept saying to myself, they're gonna put that stupid sticker on there. I hate that. Like, that pisses me off. Yeah, they may come right off, but we're talking about I like to keep my boxes, which have paid dividends. Like, if I do trade something or sell it, I'll keep the boxes in mint condition. Prime example being my SNES 3DS that I bought for like $80 off of somebody on Marketplace, and I sold it for $450 because everything was super mint. So that stuff definitely plays a role in your value and stuff like that. Let me hit these comments. They've been hitting mine up. One guy said to me a year back, take advantage of our buy two, get two on men's big toe. Yo, what? Big and tall shirts. And then he said GameStop trying to become a new hot topic for gamers. That's hilarious.
That's funny.
AK, what games were you excited for?
Honestly, there hasn't been a lot that I've really been excited for. The only one that I know I'm going to be buying is probably the new Call of Duty, because I'm actually pretty excited for their new Omni movement. But honestly, none of them have been catching my attention this year, to be honest. And even like Call of Duty, like, I'm not that excited for it. I just know I'm going to get it.
Same.
But it's nothing that's been catching my attention.
Which
it's
Call
coming
of
out
Duty
a bit. It's Black Ops. What?
Black Ops 5, I think.
What, is it coming out earlier this year? Because normally it's like.
No, it's coming out in like November.
Okay, so it's the same time, but that's one of those things that I just buy right off.
Another game I pre-ordered that I'm excited for. I know you're excited for it too, Marcus. Is in November physically, the Marvel versus Capcom 2 Fighting Collection comes out.
Yes, sir.
And I am excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I actually have another game. Sorry.
Which one?
Lost Records. That's kind of like but it's from Life is Strange. The people who make Life is Strange. I'm actually excited for that. Lost Records. I forgot about that one.
And the Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remaster is
Yes,
coming out in November as well. And also, Marcus, I'm gonna say this for Marcus because it's dope as hell and he didn't mention it. Marcus got some more Nintendo games for free because he talks to Shigeru Miyamoto on a first name basis. And so they sent him some stuff, but there are some games coming out that you are going to want to pre-order, so keep an eye out on that. And if Marcus wants to tell you, physical copies will be coming for certain games, and you need to pay attention and pre-order them because they will be gone and you won't get them if you're a physical collector.
that's absolutely true. Mike let the cat out of the bag for me, but
oh, sorry.
That's what I was going to make later. That
sorry.
I got an email, so I'm going to be receiving a lot of things from Nintendo.
Oh,
so
awesome.
That's going to be dope, and that game is on that list. So,
yep.
I still want the physical copy though. Don't get me wrong. Some of these things
too.
I'm going to get the physical copy for, and be on the lookout for like 2 episodes in the next couple weeks that I'm going to cover the first round of games that they sent. We got my girl CJ's Gaming in the chat. Shout out to CJ's Gaming. We met at SoCal, but then we really spent a lot of time hanging out and chilling at Game One Expo. Shout out to CJ's Gaming. So let's hit the next topic.
Oh, really quick. I'm sorry. Quick. So Solomon, the one who asked the initial question of what we're excited for, they said they're excited for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Assassin's Creed Shadows, the samurai game, Dragon Age, the Veilguard Sword Art Online, and Fractured Daydream DLCs. So there's a bunch coming out. Oh, and then KG said the new Mario and Luigi Brothership coming out.
Oh yeah, man. Honestly, it's a lot. Especially the Switch. The Switch has a lot coming out. It's a lot going on right now in gaming, and some big releases. I think it's so much you can kind of get overwhelmed if you're not paying attention. Like everybody's looking for, something different. But speaking of stuff getting crazy, Concord.
Insane.
Concord, man. That is crazy. I'm going to start it off with my experience with Concord, right? So I saw this whole thing unfolding. I'm like, okay, this is strange. But I was like, this may be something. It's going to go down history in the wrong way. And everybody, oh, no, it's not going to be popular. I'm like, I see it differently. For one, they shut this game down, a week and a half?
2 weeks.
Not even 2 weeks.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks.
Close to 2 weeks. After its release, which is like unheard of, especially for the amount of money. They spent millions of dollars creating this game. So now, of course, everybody's been buying it and prices jumped on eBay, right? So I saw it and I was like, okay, I'll see if I can get one. I should be able to find one. Shouldn't be a big deal. So I went on Walmart.com, put in an order, had one. Boom. Supposed to get delivered. Delayed, then they canceled it. So last night, I went to my local Walmart. Boom, Concord right there in the case. Like, yeah, can I have that, right? So it's funny, I'm in an Instagram group. Shout out to Retro Rob. He was like, yeah, too bad you can't buy it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I said, well, we'll see in a couple minutes. Went over there, scanned, and I seen her make a face. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. I don't know what's going on with this game. I can't sell it to you.
Oh, that's crazy.
Come on, bro. So that was the thing that I saw happening. Yeah. As much as, for one, I don't think they overshipped that game, right? Number one. So there was only a certain amount of copies available. Then on top of that, the stores are going to pull them off the shelf. They're not just going to sell them because they're going to get a credit to send those back to Sony.
Oh, yeah.
Or destroy them or whatever the case may be. So that right there, all that is a quick put it into, whatever their inventory, however they, keep track of that, take that SKU out, and you can't get the game. Prime example, happened to me last night. I was hoping I had somebody who wanted to quit Walmart and was like, hey, I'll just scan this one because it wouldn't have mattered on the receipt. But it was more so I didn't want the game. Obviously, it's going to be like Dead to World, but it's going to be one of those things where it's kind of, it's going to go down some kind of history, and that's what I saw coming. But anybody else, what do you think about that, AK? You're the PlayStation veteran.
I think it's crazy. Yeah, I think it's crazy. I mean, I guess the highest number they had was like 660, and then I think I heard after that, like the total amount of like concurrent players was only like either 90 something or something under like 100. But I don't know, it's crazy. I think people are just like tired of, the hero first person shooters and stuff like that. But it makes me think about how like Helldivers did really good, but then the game that came out before that was Suicide Squad failed. So I don't know. I just feel like people are like really like picky choosy. I also heard another thing about how like a lot of people didn't like the characters and stuff like that. Like I see in the comments somebody said about them being woke. I don't know if that's the problem. I think if
Yeah.
I think if anything, maybe it could come off as cheesy the way they do it, but I don't know if necessarily them being woke is the problem. But maybe just I don't know, the characters are cheesy. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to play it. I did see some like comments about people playing it and stuff like that, but honestly I think a lot of it too is just like a hate train. I think if people see one person hating it, they're all going to start following instead of like trying the
Right.
game out for themselves. Like come on y'all, like try it yourself. Play the
Yeah.
game, see if you like it. Don't just base your opinion based off of what other people are saying. I preach that all the time in my channel, but yeah, that's my 2 cents about it. I think people should stop getting on the hate train and try it yourself. I heard it's not that bad though, like if you actually play it.
Yeah, and real quick, let me jump in before that RectWizard. I don't know too much about it, but I've been seeing some people say something about woke nonsense.
Yeah.
Since when are we bringing certain aspects in the game? And like I saw certain things get really nasty over the
Yeah.
weekend in comment sections. Like why is I'm pretty sure that's not. It's obvious that Sony made it very clear why they're pulling it. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. All that is we're talking about a character, and we're not going to talk about why certain people have a problem with that. We're not even going to
Yeah.
get into that. Like we're just going to leave that out of it. But I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. And if that's a problem, then yeah, whatever. But Rec, what's your thoughts on it?
So to give you guys some numbers, they paid over $215 million to develop this game. And I think the biggest problem with the gaming industry is these studios and developers are chasing a fad. They chase what is popular instead of coming up with something that is original. One of the biggest problems with Concord is the fact that you have all of these very successful live action or live service games like Fortnite, Apex, Valorant, Overwatch, games that have existed, been very successful, have a fan base, and you want to know what all those games have in common that Concord does not? They are all free to play.
Yeah, that too.
Concord
Yep,
Concord is $40. So what you're telling me is Sony, is that you're so uninspired that you create this generic hero shooter with lackluster, unmemorable characters. You want to charge me $40 when I could play Fortnite, Overwatch, Apex, Valorant for free with an established player base that have been proven to be good games. You want me to pay $40. And not only that, Sony, you have now made the game exclusive to Steam and to PlayStation, isolating any Nintendo or Xbox players. And you're wondering why your game failed. So with that out of the way, to give you some more numbers, the game sold less. The reason why they pulled it is the game sold less than 25,000 copies. 25,000 copies. It sold worse than Lord of the Rings Gollum. And on Steam, their peak on launch day, their peak was 697 players. 697 players on launch day for PC players. It's laughable. It's a joke. And I'm not surprised that it failed. I'd never even heard of this game. But to spend $200 million developing a generic hero shooter with lackluster characters and charging people $40 when I could play some of the best games, live service games online for free. What did you think was going to happen? It was dead in the water before it even came out. I would rather play Overwatch, Apex, Valorant, any of those games over this. Why would you pay $40 to play this game when I could play all those other ones for free? Like studios, the biggest problem with studios today is they see the success of a game or a genre of game, and instead of making something that is inspiring or new or a breath of fresh air, they want to copy the trend. And they come out with something that is trying to compete with the others, which it's very hard to have a studio come out with a game that is like Fortnite and compete with Fortnite because the player base is already established. It's hard to make a game to compete with Apex or Valorant or Overwatch when those games have already been established with memorable characters, a strong player base where millions of people play these games on a daily basis, and you're going to come out with something that is uninspired and generic because you're trying to cash grab because you see the success of these other games that have been around for literally years at this point, that literally have esports teams and events and tournaments that are beloved by millions around the world. You give us Concord. So that is why these studios fail. That is why they have to close down departments and fire people and lay people off on a regular basis because they are making these uninspired games. That is why games like Baldur's Gate 3, when those types of games come out, they are a breath of fresh air because they are not chasing the hype. They are not chasing a fad or a trend. They are creating inspired, beautiful games that are works of art. And so I don't feel bad for Sony in the slightest. They're going to get this as a tax write-off and they're going to keep it moving. And they just they need to stop with these generic ass games copying every other game that's already on the market. It's like, League of Legends, right? It's like, let's make a MOBA game to compete with League of Legends, and let's make it uninspired with crappy characters. And but hey, League is free, but we're going to charge you $40 or $50 for the game. What in their right mind made them think people were actually going to spend money on this game? It is unreal to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Has anybody like played or like did any like deep dives into it?
I mean, I kind of did. I mean, I did like a before you buy and stuff like that.
So what is the main plot of the game?
So I think basically it's like a group of people, and I'm probably not gonna get like the exact thing right, but it's like a group of people who go to steal or like this blue bot thing or something like that, and like basically they're like running from people that's trying to like get it back, and I guess the like game modes kind of are inspired by that. Like there's one where I think they have to like capture the blue bot. It's kind of like Call of Duty where like capture the flag or something like that, and like like stuff like that. But that's basically the main plot, is like centered around this like blue bot thing that they stole, and then all the characters have their like different personalities and stuff like that, and yeah, that's basically what it is.
Okay, yeah, because I really wanted to, if somebody in the chat kind of have played the game and actually know about it. I've been seeing this opinion about these woke propaganda. Like I'm confused. Like I'm literally reading it. It says it's a sci-fi galaxy where space mercenary outlaws known as the Free Gunners run rampant and perform heists to reap rewards of their own. Like
I think it's literally
I don't know. Maybe
character.
It's something else in the game. Like
I think it's just one character who's like woke. I think, from my understanding, I didn't get like too much into that, but like because they don't like highlighted it. I think it's like people that's like looking deep into it, trying to like find something. That's why like that's not the problem with this game though. I think there's other problems with the game that people need to look at, kind of like what Rex said, like the price, like the generic. And I'm really surprised that like PlayStation, well, surprised and not surprised the way PlayStation has been acting recently, but I'm surprised they would put out something like this, because usually they are pretty creative with like their stuff. But recently, I don't know, they've been kind of lacking this year.
The only thing I could see Sony doing to maybe somehow rectify this, and it's still first impressions are everything, pull it off the shelves, which they've done, rework the game, release it for free.
That was going to be my next thing.
Just like every other live service game, release it for free. Have a one of those, what are those passes called, where like you can like unlock stuff and you pay money for them. What are they called? Like you unlock stuff as you level up and you pay for them. Season pass, whatever the hell they're called. Release the season pass, release some skins for it, rework the game, release it for free. And also make it a multi-plat. Don't make it, you can't, making a live service game exclusive. What? Like, that is the dumbest thing. Dude, I can play Fortnite on my iPad. Like, because you know what matters most to these companies? Money. Sony, what the hell are you doing? Like, I should be able to play this on every platform if you want to make money. It's a live service game. It's not a single player adventure like God of War.
Yeah.
Like, this is, you want a larger audience, sell it to everybody.
Yeah, Sony has a bad history of what's the making proprietary content and hardware. They prime example. I have been looking at more frequently here lately of getting the PlayStation. What's that damn thing called? The Portal, right? So I've been looking at. I stand. Ever since it was announced, I don't want to pay $200 for it. But I've been seeing more reviews lately where they fix some of the bugs. And my biggest reasoning for that is I'm able to have it mobily. I can catch up on some of that PS4 backlog. The only stuff that I kept because those are games I actually want to play. So I was like, okay, that could be a way for me to put more time into those games. But another thing was how your Bluetooth headset won't connect. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you want me to spend $200 on this thing that I don't think is worth $200, and then you want me to spend, I think the earbuds are what, $150, something like that.
You got to buy separate headphones for the thing.
Either you use a plug-in, or you got to buy theirs. You cannot use Bluetooth.
What?
Yep.
That's
so
wild.
now, granted, that's an easy fix. Nintendo took 5 years to do it. Sorry, Nintendo, I love y'all. Please don't do that again with this next one. But at least they open that up. But it's no reason why you create anything at this point and not allow people to use their own Bluetooth headset. They did the same thing with the Vita coming out when you only could use their memory cards. Like, they shot themselves in the foot with that. Like, it was just a bad idea, But Sony has, like I said, they have a history of doing certain things like that to kind of keep certain things within Sony and make you only buy from them, kind of like monopolizing certain things in a way. But I don't know. I feel like maybe building it up first and then maybe trying that. But kind of like when it comes to accessories like headsets, give people the freedom to buy whatever headset they want.
Well, kind of going back to something you said earlier, I think PlayStation's really big on, narrative driven games. I think I can't think of another game that they did live service like multiplayer. Usually that's from like third party companies, right? I can't think of anything that they've done like that, but I don't know if this is just them like trying it out and like putting their feet in the water or whatever, and hopefully if they do it again, it could come back stronger and better than ever. But I think it is a problem with them just being way too exclusive and not wanting to branch out and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, in the chat, Glenn said Concord will be back as free to play. I can agree with that because that's what I was thinking. Like, instead of completely trashing it, like, go back and spend some time reworking and re-release it. Like, look how long it took Cyberpunk to get right, but they fixed it.
Oh, and dude, Cyberpunk, like, I was there on launch day and I tried to stream it on Twitch on launch day. It was so buggy and glitchy. Even like, dude, and my PC is, it's pretty beefy, dude. I got a 3090 in here, like, and my PC just struggled running the game because of all the glitches. And now Cyberpunk is awesome. It is a really good game. Sorry, Bethesda, you're my favorite studio, but man, you really could have learned something from Cyberpunk or No Man's Sky with Starfield. Starfield really let me down. But yeah, no, Cyberpunk was good. Oh, also another big one that is a live, online multiplayer game that got yanked was Final Fantasy 14. When Final Fantasy 14 initially came out, which is the MMO, it did terribly and it got yanked and they brought it back. And now it is literally one of the most successful MMORPGs that have ever been released. And it's amazing. It's such a great game.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been seeing some weird stuff with games like coming out like unfinished and they have all these things to fix. Like, what's up with that? Like, where's the quality control,
Did you guys hear that game the day before? It came out, I don't know if it was early this year or last year, but it was like almost a spin-off of The Last of Us. It was completely broken. They had like giants walking around as the characters when they were supposed to be like normal. But yeah, it was super like hyped up, and then like it was so many bugs. If you guys haven't checked that out, you should really. It's so funny. The day before.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to check that out. I'll just look at it real quick. That does seem. I think I remember hearing about that. So in the chat, what's your thoughts about Dustborn? Y'all know about that? I guess it's a game. Let me look real quick.
I don't know what that
I don't
is.
know. No, I kind of feel like I seen it in passing. Let's see real quick. Pull it up, take a look at it. So it's obviously on Series X and S and PlayStation. Single player, story driven action adventure game about hope, love, friendships, robots, and the power of words. I think wasn't this in the state of play? I think. Let me pull up these images. I'm gonna share my screen real quick for you guys. Share screen.
I think I've
All
seen a
right.
little bit about this.
Make sure I got the right screen. So this is what I'm seeing right here. I just kind of remember these images. So I don't know. I don't know much about that retro nook. Some Megas in the comments he say be still ward. I don't know. I don't know much about it. Maybe something I'll be willing to look into. But do you guys have any thoughts on that? Have you heard about it or?
I've never heard of that game before, but I did see a picture on your web browser of a game that just came out yesterday that I am excited to actually get and play with my kids. Astrobot.
Yes, that's so
Oh
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Astrobot. Yeah, because I love what they did with the PlayStation VR,
demo.
the first one.
Yeah.
Like that was super fun. I had a lot of fun with that. That was awesome.
Yeah, the tech, dude. When I first got my PS5 at Christmas, I haven't even had it a year yet, and I was playing Astrobot. I'm like, dude, this DualSense controller is freaking awesome. Like this is dope. And for them to make like a full on game for it, like I kind of want to get the controller for it. There's a couple.
Have you seen the prices on them?
No, they're probably stupid, huh?
Oh yeah, they're selling those controllers for like 100, 150.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Dude, honestly,
it looked awesome though.
there are 3 controllers for the PS5 that I would like to get. I don't even think to use, just to have them. As I would really like the Astrobot one, the Hogwarts Legacy one, because my wife would really like that. And then the God of War Ragnarok controller. Like I really want that one. So like I definitely would want that for sure. Those are the 3 controllers I would want to get.
It makes me think of like people do not utilize the DualSense controller like at all. Like maybe they'll use like the triggers for some games, but like other than that, like there's so much more that controller is capable of that like game companies are not using. But I mean, I think it's because like when like companies make games, they're making it, you know, for Xbox, PC, and stuff like that. I think they just choose not to like, you know, put extra funds into like utilizing it. I don't know, but companies really need to utilize that controller more. I feel like it would make people so much more immersed and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm curious to know if Astrobot did that because I know with the free game for the PS4, the PSVR game, they did utilize even on the PS4 the center pad where you can hear stuff coming through that. In the DualSense, it's like levels above that PS4 controller. So it's like, you definitely could do things to, you know, utilize that and work it into the game where it can make it fun and a different experience moving forward too. So I don't know. Maybe they built on that. I don't know.
Astrobot definitely does that because even the first one, Astro's Playroom, they had things where like you could just blow on the controller and it'll make like something spin and stuff like that. Like, so I think Astrobot did that even more because this one's a full-on game.
Well, yeah, because Astrobot was a tech demo to show you. The whole purpose of the game was to show you what the DualSense controller could do.
Yeah.
Right. So like I'm sure the new game is like all about that. I'm sure it shows you everything that controller could do. Makes me want to go buy the damn thing today.
Alyssa, is that Game Boys streaming across that screen back there?
Yeah.
What is that screen? Because I see it every time. and that is dope. Like, what is that?
It is fire.
It's called a Davoom. Everybody asked me about that in my comments. They're like, what's that Astrobot thing? Where'd you get that? I'm like, it's just a screen that I can put whatever I want on there. I got it for Christmas.
Where do you get them at? Amazon or?
Yeah.
I'm going to flash something across.
Do you know how to spell it?
Divoom.
Davoom.
Davoom. Let me look it up. Share it on the screen.
Okay.
Everyone, You said DI,
VOOM, not sponsored.
not sponsored. Absolutely.
Okay.
I should
That's
be
pretty-
sponsored though, with as many people ask me about it.
Oh, I've seen the little computer ones that Devoom does.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
I've
one
seen-
I was looking at. That's pretty cool.
I've seen these before. That is really cool.
Yeah, I love it.
So I want to show this here, right here.
Yeah, that's one of the little computer ones that I've seen
That's
before.
pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So it's a Bluetooth speaker, LED app control front screen.
Well, mine isn't a speaker; it's just a big.
Hers is like the tablet looking one. That's like that one with the sun on it. Go up. You see the one for $119.99 or whatever to the right.
This one.
That one.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's show this.
Yeah, that you put whatever you want on that screen. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
It'd
like
be cool. It'd be cool to. You know what, Marcus? You know what? I'm surprised you don't do for your videos or the podcast. You have that really perfectly placed screen right there. That you your TV like you
Yeah,
could
you
like
can utilize it.
or your PVM, you could literally put stuff on both screens and have it playing in the background during like stuff. Like that'd be dope.
Yeah, I thought about that because I've done it before. But that's actually a new monitor that I got. It's not a PVM, but it is S video native, and it is absolutely gorgeous. You probably see the N64 controller there. I was actually putting in some work on some No Mercy, but yeah, I love that. But still in the market for a PVM. But yeah, absolutely. No, I've thought about that. I don't know. I just haven't, but I probably should just because of the reflection. I should just put something up there.
Yeah, put like you know like your logo or something across the back with like a background or something cool, or I don't know.
Or just be like super like pompous and arrogant and play my own videos in the background of my own video. It's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah,
That'd be trippy.
Yeah, it's like
That would be.
it's like Inception.
Yeah,
Like a video inside a video.
Dude, what's happening? It's weird. But yeah, so those were the major things that happened in the gaming world. But also, if you guys didn't check out my last video, you definitely should. Nintendo had a crazy sale online that ends tomorrow. They had a ton of games on sale that you could buy, and some of these games were actual. You can get physical copies. I think they were giving free shipping out. Like they have all. Capcom has their own section on there. I think Axis has their own. A bunch of Resident Evil games on sale for like $8. Like it is insane.
Where can you get the physical ones that you
On the
can look
website?
up? On Nintendo.com?
Yep,
Ooh.
absolutely.
Let me look that up. Nintendo.
I need more Nintendo games. I always look for them and I never find one that I actually want to buy.
Everyone needs more Nintendo games in their life. Shout out to Nintendo, by the way. This video game voting is sponsored by Nintendo.
Did any of you guys ever finish Luigi's Mansion, the new one? I haven't finished it.
I haven't.
I have not even put it in yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Let me see. Window. Tab audio. I'm sorry, I'm just getting this right. So here's called the Blockbuster sale. So it ends tomorrow. I've been hearing a little bit about this Dreamlight Valley, a Disney game. I gotta.
Oh, my wife played that, dude. It is actually it's really cool if you like Disney. It's like a farming sim. It's like you create your own character, you get your own little cute house. It's kind of like Disney's version of like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I played it a little bit. It's pretty fun.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious about that. They got Minecraft Legends. This caught my attention. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Splinter's Fate. That was an Apple Arcade game, kind of like the last one. I didn't get the last. Got the name of it. Mutant something.
Oh, this one's a good deal. Instead of $40, you can get the first Capcom Fighting Collection for $15.99.
Yeah, right there,
Yeah,
$15.99.
But
this is a good deal too. GTA, the definitive edition is $30. That's
But-
consistently at $60.
Oh, no, right there too. Monster Hunter Rise plus Sunbreak
Yep.
for $20.
25. 65% off.
Oh
Then you
wow,
got
that's
Persona
crazy.
5 and 5 Tactica,
But
50% off.
how do you know
Overcooked
if
is a
it's
really good game too.
how do you
If you
know if
click
you can
on
get
them,
if you can get a physical?
if you click on them, some of them will show you whether or not like it was okay. I gotta put in dates.
Let's see how old you are.
I don't mind sharing. 85.
Damn. No, I'm just kidding.
But you see that it's not available, so that clearly was a physical copy. Because how would the digital version not be available? But
See,
this was the good one too. That was the collection. But I kind of seen this sale a little late, so I missed out on some of the stuff. A lot of the stuff I wanted, I have already. They got List was talking about that. Life is Strange. This is a collection. It's remasters of 2 games. Which games are they?
see, every
Two
game I'm
award-winning
clicking
Life
on
is
just
Strange games.
every game I'm
Arcadia
clicking on
Bay.
just says direct download.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remastered and Before the Storm. Not remastered. Yeah. Life is Strange, the first one, Before the Storm, and I guess it's the original. So they got a lot of like compilations on here that's on sale too. This is a good one, the Ultimate Edition of Shantae's Half Genie, Half Hero. That's a good one. Then it go into different companies. Like this is Capcom, the Gamecom sale. So there's a ton of Capcom games. Mike mentioned the Fighting Collection. Got Resident Evil 4 for $10. And even
Yeah.
if it's not physical copies, like even
It's
like
still a
the
good
download,
deal.
still a great deal. And looking at these games, you got all these Mega Man collections for $7, $8, $10. I guess it's saying
Oh,
Dragon's
dude.
Dogma is $5.
Dude, if I could recommend any game to any of you, like, oh look, Okami HD is
$10.
$10, dude.
Yep.
Like Resident Evil 0, how much is that one? $10. That's
Look at that.
worth it.
Resident Evil 3, which cloud? I guess they mean it. I don't know exactly what that is. Is that like
It's a cloud gaming, so you're not gonna download the game, you're gonna stream it over the cloud, kind of like how they did Kingdom Hearts on the Switch and it played like garbage.
Okay.
I hate
Maybe
streaming games.
that. Yeah. So you got a bunch of games like $10. Then they got Axis right here. They have their own section. Heard of Norn 9. I've heard of Radiant Tail. A lot of these are like at least 50% off. And I believe it's another company. Yeah, Devolver. Which they got some
Oh
cool.
my goodness, this is a killer deal, man. Look at this one, and we overlooked it. Where is it? Go back to the Capcom section. Where is it? Hold on, keep going.
Arcade Stadium?
No, not that one. Keep going. Keep going. This one I overlooked it, and it's even cheaper if you buy it this way. No. See where it says sort? See where it says sort by? Click on that and go A to Z. Title A to Z. Okay, and then where is it? I'm literally looking at it. Called the Capcom Fighting Bundle. It's
yeah, I did see that. See that.
Dude, it comes with the Capcom Fighting Collection and the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. Both games.
Yeah, I actually
for $19.99.
I know it's on this main screen because I actually covered that on a video.
Right there. It's right there.
Yeah, here we go.
Dude, it comes with the Fighting Collection and the 30th Anniversary. It's 2 separate games.
So the Capcom Fighting Collection includes Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, Vampire Savior, Vampire Hunter 2, Vampire Savior 2, Hyper Street Fighter. So you got all those. You also get Cyberbots, which is like a mech fighting game. And then you get Red Earth. That's another game. Plus, you get Street Fighter 30th Anniversary, where you get pretty much every Street Fighter up until Third Strike. That's insane.
Yeah, because I have the 30th Anniversary Collection for Street Fighter physically on the PS4, and it's awesome.
So you 66% off, $20,
dude.
So go wrong with that.
So we're on their website, right? But if I went to the Nintendo eShop on my Switch, these will all be there.
They probably would. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Okay, because I'm gonna, after I get off this podcast, I might be buying that Fighting Collection and hooking up my fight stick. And I love playing fighting games with my arcade stick, bro.
Yeah, no, that's almost the ideal way to play.
This bad boy right there, dude. My Mayflash F500 Elite. Okay, I'm not sponsored, but Mayflash, hear me out.
You need a Hori. You need a Hori, son.
Dude, no, this pad, I'm telling you, bro, is amazing. So it's got the cable here in the side, but this thing, It has all Sanwa switches and a stick, some of the top of the line fighting arcade parts in it, and it's $150 on Amazon. But this thing, dude, the reason I bought it was because it works with everything. So it works with PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, PC, mini consoles, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Like, it will work with everything from the 7th generation moving forward. It even has, I think there's firmware updates to where you could even get this to work on a Wii and a Wii U. Like, so this thing is insane. It's literally plug and play. There's no updates you have to do. I literally plugged it into my Switch. It worked. PS5, it worked. PC, it worked. Like, it's nuts, dude. So, like, if you are into the old school games that come on the Switch Live service, like NES, Super Nintendo, dude, playing like some of the old school like games like with a fight stick, oh my god. So yeah, on
which
Amazon,
model was that? 'Cause I used to have the 300, I think.
300. So this is the 500 Elite.
Okay,
So,
yeah. So the one I had, you had to do some weird stuff with cords a couple times, but that was older. This is obviously newer and improved. So yeah, that they do make a great product, and the fact that it's universal kind of made it more appealing. That was the reason why I bought mine back in the day as well. So,
dude, I absolutely love this thing, man. I use it all the time for all of my fighting games. When Street Fighter 6 came out, dude, on PS5, oh man, dude, this game is so dope using a fight stick.
All right, with that being said, it's a perfect way to segue into show and tell. RectWizard, you gonna shut it off?
Oh yeah, I guess I can go first since I have quite a bit. So I'm gonna blast through most of these really quickly because I have a lot to go through. But we are doing the PS2 Pursuit, so I got a bunch of PS2 games, guys. We just broke 500 games for the PS2 Pursuit, so we are at 503 games as of right now. So we're gonna go through them quickly. I picked up a lot of these at a local game store, flea market, or my buddy who owns the Sat Gamers Expo, which I'm making a video on that. So we got Legend of the Dragon, we got Kaya Dark Lineage. I heard this is a really good hidden gem. A really good shmup on the console is R-Type Final. Then we got this one I'm nostalgic for, Test Drive. That's a good one. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. We got the Mega Man X collection. We got Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Then we got the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Ooh.
Then we've got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. Do you remember this game on PC, man? I remember my little cousin used to play this. I didn't know it was a console game too. But Neopets, The Darkest Fairy. I remember Neopets was big on PC. Then we got Nicktoons Movin', which you use the iToy camera. You got Mark of Cree. This is one of Gabo's recommendations for the PS2. He loves this game. This one's beat up. This was a flea market find. I'm going to replace the case. But Spy Hunter 2. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2.
Nice.
That's a good one. Treasure Planet. Highly underrated Disney movie. Then you got Vex. All right. And so then that's some of that stuff. Okay, and then these are all flea market finds. We got Sacred 2 for the PlayStation 3. We've got Super Street Fighter 4, the arcade edition. This one was a GameStop find the other day, and I bought this. I already had it, but my copy was sealed, and I wanted a copy I could play. Silent Hill, the HD collection, comes with Silent Hill 2 and 3. Some more flea market finds. We got GTA 5, Injustice 2,
great game,
Mortal Kombat X, and Mafia 3. Those were all from the flea market. Then we got, these are all GameStop pickups. My daughter's really into SpongeBob as of recently, so we got SpongeBob Cosmic Shake, which is an awesome 3D platformer, really fun. We got Visions of Mana for the PS5. Yay. Great freaking game. My daughter really wanted this one, so we got Ratchet and Clank or Rift Apart for
That's
the
a good
PS5. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for the PS5. My daughter wanted a copy of Cooking Mama Cookstar for the PS4.
Mhm.
And I did find a PS2 game at GameStop. It was Gauntlet Seven Sorrows. Did not have this one. Paid $10 for this. It was fully complete. Really nice copy from GameStop. And then the two big ones, the last two games, we got Marvel vs. Capcom 2
Ooh,
for the PlayStation 2, and then
was
my
that
big
from
one.
GameStop?
No, this one
No.
was
Oh, okay.
actually no. The owner of the SAT Gamers Expo was part of a deal I made with him that I'm making a video on. But that was the big one I got from him. Which the new one's coming out, so the price definitely tanked on this already. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It was a $200 game, and now it's price charting for 120. So it tanked quite a bit, and the game's not even out yet. The biggest one I got was from our buddy Joe at the Camel Crew. He
Shout
reached
to
out
my
to me.
Camel Crew brother.
He knew that I'm going for the full set, but I'm also looking for all the bangers, and he gave me a screaming deal and really hooked me up on Obscure, which is a $300 PlayStation 2 game.
Mm.
And this is literally I believe the last $300 plus PS2 game. That this was it. This was the last one I needed. It just
That's
goes down
crazy.
from here. Yeah, if you look on that shelf right here, these are all the 300 plus club
Nice.
games. So
Mm.
this literally completes that.
Nice.
So I have all of them, and yeah, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. But yeah, those were all of my pickups that I've gotten. I mean, it seems like a lot, guys, but we haven't had a pod. This is the third week that
Yeah,
since the last podcast. So
that's true.
yeah, so it's just that's what I've acquired over the last 3 weeks.
All right. Since AK is excited about hers, I'm gonna let her get the last spot. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some of the stuff I've gotten. Put my cell phone so just like Mike, I picked up Visions of Mana. So I've been becoming a bigger fans of Vision of Mana, and you guys are gonna kill me in the comments, and y'all might kill me on this podcast. I just found out the day that this came out that this was born from Final Fantasy Adventures.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know.
It was originally a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, so that was interesting, but it's been a great game. I've been playing it. It's fantastic. Please drop this on the Switch at some point.
I think honestly, dude, their plan is it'll come out for the Switch too.
Right. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I don't know.
talking about that.
Yeah, I don't think the Switch can handle that game, or maybe they weren't able to get it to work right on it. But it'll be out
Yeah.
on the next one, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I also have been collecting Switch controllers, so there's a couple of these rock candy ones that I didn't have yet. So I got this Bowser one. It's pretty
Ooh,
That's sick.
nice.
This one I really love.
Mm.
This is Princess Peach. Shout out to Silver Fox Gaming. We were talking about this one, so I finally found that one. And then I tend to take my Switch with me when I go to conventions. We had a great time playing Broforce at Retro World. We had a ton of fun. We were playing 4-player multiplayer. If you don't know about that game, go check it out. It's awesome. So I picked up a couple Nano controllers to take with me. This is a Zelda Nano one. These are all officially licensed by Nintendo. And that's my shirt. Pretty fire. And then I got a Mario one. But I figured since they were smaller, they're easier to carry around, and they're actually, I haven't opened them, but I played with one. They're very, very comfortable to use. Just because it's a little smaller doesn't mean that it's not a great controller. But those were some of my recent pickups. And now we're to AK.
Well, I never have as much as you guys to show, but I did pick up a few games when I was in Las Vegas. So one of them was Hannah Montana Spotlight Tour, and I only picked this one up because I'm nostalgia reasons. I used to play this a lot as a kid.
I have that one.
Really?
Yeah,
I have it. I have it on Wii.
That's cool. I used to have it on PSP, but this is for PlayStation 2. I got Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time, which is pretty cool. One of my favorite games, Hitman 2. Not necessarily Hitman 2, just the Hitman franchise in general. I love Hitman.
So good.
And then another one that I've been trying to find is my last one, Sly 2. I have the like bundle set, but I don't have them individually, so I was really glad to find this because I have not been seeing them at all. So this is my first like individual one that I've seen, so I was glad to find that. But yeah, those are the only ones that I've gotten.
Which
Some good pickups.
which Hitman would you say is your favorite out of the franchise?
Ooh. I don't know. I think I
Mine,
really,
mine's Blood Money.
really. I don't
Oh,
think
so good.
I don't think I played that one to be. I haven't played all of them. Honestly, the only ones I've played right now is the it's a trilogy. So I'm gonna go back and play the rest of them, especially now that I have them. Like I'm starting to get the older ones. I'm gonna be playing them. But the probably the my favorite one right now, I think, is just the third one, just because why not? But
Yeah.
I just love the strategy in the games, like how it gets you to like think and stuff. I'm curious if the older ones have that as well, but I'm definitely gonna be trying that.
Yeah, Blood Money for sure. Like it was so cool when that game came out, man. I love that. It's my favorite Hitman. Definitely has this different strategies, different weapons and guns you can get, different scenarios that you can do to achieve like the mission or to assassinate the person
Yeah,
you're supposed to kill. It's so good. I love that game. Definitely check out Hitman Blood Money for sure.
I will.
Uh, yeah, so those are some good pickups, and I know a lot of people been pushing for another Sly Cooper game. Like that game and that franchise has like a cult following. Like
It
they
Oh
does.
yeah.
every time, especially like if you watch State of Play and you just look at the live comments, like they're always putting in there Sly Cooper. You just see a gang of those comments. So
Yeah, I have
Oh,
a few
dude.
things. A few things of Sly in the back. I got a poster up there, and then I'm not gonna adjust my camera, but I have like a bunch of plushies ahead of this camera too. I love Sly Cooper.
Oh, dude, that's the thing. Like with PlayStation, that people are like, they were basically shitting on Concord. They were like, Sony, you have so many IPs that you don't use anymore. Sly Cooper, Resistance, Fall of Man. What is the other one? The big
Killzone.
Killzone. They're like, dude, bring those games back. Those are the games people want, not
Yeah.
Concord. Like, stop with the live service crap and give us some Killzone, dude. Like, I agree. I think that they need to bring all those dude. Sly Cooper would do so well. Like, it really would. Like just because Ratchet and Clank is super popular, Astrobot's popular, give us another 3D platformer. Give us Sly Cooper with some like, the haptic feedback and the cool stuff that like Astrobot could do. You know what I mean? Like that would be dope. Give us Killzone, give us Resistance. Like there's so many good ones.
They
What was
really
the last
push.
Sly Cooper out? The
It,
last one.
it was the third one.
But
I
what
thought
Oh
they
no,
console?
no, no,
made.
no, no, no. They
Yeah,
made one for PS3.
yeah.
They made
Okay.
one for PS3. I can't remember what it's called. I know they had the Sly collection on PS3, but then they made their own for PS3. I can't remember what it's called. I have it, I think.
Mm,
I don't remember.
I'm
Well,
trying to
in
see
the
if I can
comments,
find it.
Nick said Sony has a Disney vault of IPs, but they're using crying Jim Ryan's logic. Who wants to play these old games?
Exactly.
You know what? There's probably some truth to that because it poses the question. Like, I'm curious with all companies, right? When they have these IPs, like, what is their thought process? Like, how do they decide to prioritize making, even with Nintendo making more Mario, more Zelda games? Well, what about Star Fox? Is it already in development for the next generation console? Like, I'm curious to know what these companies think, especially when the people who's going to be buying it are telling you, we want Sly Cooper, we want Killzone, we want whatever. Bring back SOCOM. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that was
we
another big
want,
one.
yeah, we want some different options. But what are y'all thoughts on that? Like, I'm kind of mind boggled by that, especially when it's like a popular series.
Well,
Well,
dude, there's like so many games that it's like in our heads as fans, we're like, please bring that back. And why have you not brought that back? And I'm sure that some of them might, reasons might be they just want to look to the future, or maybe the previous game didn't sell very well. Like look at Star Fox on the Wii U did terribly. So I don't know. I mean, because like let's be honest, I mean we've been begging for a remake or remaster of Chrono Trigger forever, and it has never happened. So who knows, man, what their thought process is? Because if they came out with Chrono Trigger and gave it the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment, oh dude, that game would
Oh
fly
my
off the
god,
shelf. Fly
yes.
off the shelf, dude.
I
Or
wanted
piss a lot of retro collectors off. Sorry, to cut
It
you off.
would.
That's
It
okay.
would.
I wanted to say the newest Sly Cooper I found it. It was in 2013. Yeah, for the PS3, it was Thieves in Time, but I don't
Yep.
think it got a lot of good reviews. I think that's why they kind of started pushing it off. But to answer Votary's question, I don't know. I'm a little confused too how they cherry pick because I'm curious what makes them want to keep pushing Ratchet and Clank games. They have a lot of new like Ratchet and Clank games. Like, but like, why did they pick them? I don't get it. I mean, I love Ratchet and Clank, but yeah, I'm curious. Like, yeah, why Ratchet and Clank, or even just like rotate
Yeah.
them. Like, okay, they make a Ratchet and Clank, and then maybe in a few years they make like a Sly or something. Like, why do they just keep pushing the Ratchet and Clank games? You know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think maybe because like Ratchet and Clank probably outsold Sly. Maybe
Yeah.
that's it. And they decided to go with one 3D platformer to be like the face of PlayStation instead of having two running together and competing with each other at some point. Like you guys were saying, the one on PS3 didn't do so hot. So maybe that was like the indicator, like, hey, let's focus more on Ratchet and Clank and kind of step away from this one because it didn't do so well. But Ratchet always does well for them.
They have a
Yeah,
movie as
and
well.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
I
movie.
think I remember.
Yeah, it came out like a few years ago. I forget exactly.
Yeah, I think I do remember that.
And then they made the game based off the movie. It wasn't the newest one. It was like the one before that. I forget what year it
Huh.
was, like 2017 or something. But yeah, they
Is
made
it
a
like
movie.
Is it like a live movie, like a real movie, or is it like a cartoon movie?
It's like a cartoon movie.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch that with my kids. They probably would like it.
It's
See if I can look it up real quick. See if we can see it. Trailer.
I forget what the like spin-off name is called, but yeah, they
Oh,
definitely had a
okay.
movie.
Someone in
Right.
chat says, yeah, it's a Ratchet and Clank movie. They got it on DVD and it's all CGI. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's CGI animated or created. That's cool. I think my kids would probably like that.
Let me share this screen real quick. I'm curious about it because I remember. I feel like I am.
Oh, 2016. This came out 8 years ago. I don't
Yeah,
remember this.
I thought it was like 2017, but yeah.
In a world.
Commence deplanetization!
In another world.
Our galaxy is in a state of crisis.
Captain Quark?
The Galactic Rangers are looking for a new recruit.
A man with a dream.
Actually, I'm a Lombax.
Fine. A Lombax with a dream.
Oh yeah, my kids would like this.
If you have heart, then you have what it takes. You don't have what it takes.
Wait,
Next!
Will discover a beautiful friendship. Maybe not beautiful, but definitely attractive. Like a 7.
my name's Ratchet. I'll just call you Clank.
Now, on the dark side of the universe.
In 2 days' time, the Galactic Rangers will be destroyed. Stanley, are you texting?
Dialing mother.
An unstoppable evil.
My brilliant creation!
Most of the time. Burn. Will give them the chance
An attack is coming. I must warn the Rangers. I can totally help.
to be heroes. No, legends. Wait, even better.
Does anyone else feel like we should have shot something by now?
Thank you.
This April,
Destroy them all.
when a galactic force threatens the world,
I'm going in.
test your gear.
That was
Find your courage
Meet a sheepinator.
Uh-oh.
and kick
Boom, baby!
some asteroid. Ratchet and Clank.
It is curious that the sudden cessation of velocity did not cause either of you to... Oh, dear.
Don't worry, cadet. It happens to the best of... Oh, that was terrible. Make it stop!
So is this so did they the PS4 game is based off this?
Yeah,
or?
yeah, it's based off the movie.
Okay, because I have the PS4 game. My kids would like that. Does anybody in chat or do you guys know if this is being streamed anywhere? Is it on any type of streaming service? Because I have all of them. but I want to maybe go put it on for my kids after the podcast. They probably would like it.
Filmmakers said the movie is worse than the game, so you definitely want to play the game instead. I don't know. It's funny
Yo.
because I remember hearing about it, but I feel like it was like poorly pushed. Like I feel like I
Well,
would have paid a little bit more attention to it.
I
Dude,
only
my
heard.
kid, my kid likes Baby Shark, so I'm sure they'll like this movie. They're not picky.
Yeah, I only heard about it because I heard about the game, because I think they didn't release a Ratchet and Clank for some time before that, I think, and I was like interested. I'm like, oh, it was a movie, blah blah. So yeah.
Okay, that brings up a question just off the cuff right now, and people in chat, please answer this. If you could make a movie or a TV show out of any video game or franchise in the history of video games that has not been done yet, what video game would you turn into a show or a movie? Realistically.
I have mine. I would do.
Go AK.
Well, I already have opinions about video game movies, but we'll say that for another time. But if I had to choose, probably like Ghost of Tsushima or Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, yes.
I say that weird.
Both
I know
of
it
those.
is,
She wins already because like both of those would be dope as hell as a freaking movie or even a show, like a Ghost of Tsushima show. Oh, that would
Yeah.
be so good.
That would be
'Cause-
fire.
I was just gonna say, have you guys heard of Shogun? I know a lot of people were comparing that to Ghost.
Yes, I haven't seen it, but I saw previews of it and I was like, it looks like it could be a Ghost of Tsushima type show.
Yeah.
Okay. With I don't know. I'm trying to think what hasn't been done. 'Cause I feel like a lot of my favorites have been done. Or it's in the works. So I would probably say if they did like a Wario Land type of show where Wario's the main character, just because he's so animated and such a different character, like I just think that would be pretty funny if they did. You know, of course they had a bunch of Mario shows and movies, obviously, but if they did something around like Wario, I think that would be freaking funny, to be honest with you.
I could see that.
You know, with the success of the Fallout TV show and Bethesda being my favorite studio, I would say the Elder Scrolls,
Oh, people
a
would love
Sky-
that.
like
Yeah.
a Skyrim, Oblivion type, just set in that universe. The Elder Scrolls TV show would be really cool. But you know, a lot of people have told me, they're like, "Oh, they did that already, bro. There's Game of Thrones," and I'm like, "Bro, it's not the same. I'm talking about like in that universe, like."
Mhm.
You know, that would be dope. I think it would be really cool. It would be kind of cool to see a God of War movie.
They
Yeah, that would
butcher
be
it.
fire.
I think
I-
they butcher it.
They very well could, because like I think they're gonna. As much as I loved the Mario movie, I think Nintendo is gonna butcher the Zelda live action movie because they partnered with Sony and they're letting the guy who directed Morbius direct the Zelda movie. And
Well,
I'm like,
Nintendo ain't letting nothing crazy come out, so you already
No.
know they.
no, I know. I feel like Shigeru Miyamoto is so involved, especially that's why the Mario movie was so good. I feel like he'll step in and be like, "Yeah, no, you suck. We're not doing this. You're not no." So that's the only shred of hope I have, is that Nintendo was so involved with Mario that they're gonna put their foot down when it comes to Zelda and not let it fail. But when I heard that Sony was letting the dude from Morbius direct the movie, I was like, "No, like why would you do that?"
Yeah, I feel like they've had shows. It might be just an anime series, but did they have a series with the Mana series? Did they have like a show with the Mana series? I thought anime.
I don't know if they did. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, so someone in chat, the fall of the 11th says God of War is being made at Amazon, and Ghost of Tsushima. There's a Ghost of Tsushima movie in the works from someone named Film Watcher 96. So supposedly they are doing both God of War and Ghost of Tsushima.
I think they had to just be really good with the casting, because somebody in my comments made a comment about they would cast Chris Pratt as Kratos, and I don't know if you guys get the joke, but like I feel like he's cast at like everything. But I think if they did good with like the casting, like even using like Kratos who played in the game or whatever, I don't know. I just feel like, because like God of War Ragnarok is probably my second favorite game. So if I would just be so mad if they messed it up.
I'm not gonna lie. You know who I could see. Maybe not now because he's older now, but maybe because if they do the 2018 and Ragnarok, Kratos is older looking.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say this is because he's a phenomenal actor. He's proven that he can get into extremely good shape, and the accent, I think he could just pull it off. Gerard Butler from 300. The This Is Sparta guy. Like Gerard Butler is a fantastic actor. He was in Phantom of the Opera. He played the Phantom. He was in a lot of stuff. But I could see Gerard Butler being Kratos and like being bald and like getting yoked like he was on 300. And dude, I think he would be a good fit for Kratos, if I'm being honest.
You know, I think what killed that role too, Dave Bautista.
Yeah, I like Dave Bautista.
Just because of the build, obviously he would need to step his acting up to play like that main role in that. But I think it would work, you know, with him being like a wrestler. I think he could get into that character pretty good.
Yeah, they'll probably just cast The Rock.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, it more than likely.
I think
or
that just proves...
Diesel. Vin Diesel probably wouldn't be bad either.
Or Jason Momoa. Like, yeah,
I'd rather see Vin Diesel out of them. He's probably the more seasoned.
I feel like they would have to pick somebody who's not mainstream for me, because if I feel like I've seen them too many times, I'm just gonna see them as like The Rock. Like I'm not gonna see them as Kratos. So like, I don't know. It's a fine line. I think I'm picky about it, especially with games I really like God of War. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Ghost of Tsushima, they should just have the guy who played Sakai play the main character, right? Because he is an actor, right? The guy who plays the main character in Ghost of Tsushima. Like he's an actor already, so like he should just play the guy. I mean, because they used him in the game, the same character. Like,
right?
They scanned him into the game.
Yeah, it really just depends on whoever the casting director is, because sometimes it's hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. Sometimes you think certain things would be a good fit, and then the ones you don't think would be a good fit sometimes end up panning out. So yes, that's very interesting in there. But anybody in the comments have any thoughts? I think a couple people, Retro Nook says Skyrim movie or TV series would be nice. Give it a Game of Thrones type of feel. Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like the Elder Scrolls show would do really well. Like Fallout really surprised a lot of people and did fantastic. So if they did an Elder Scrolls show and gave it the same treatment, I think would do really well.
You know what else would be fire? Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage would be fire. Like, just like, I don't know, like live action. They're kind of just, you know, they'll make it more so like I don't know, like if they were like police and they're like police in the streets type of thing. Like I think that would be cool, just because the characters are so known. I think they can make that work. Kind of how they did with Twisted Metal. Like who'd ever thought that would be a TV show? Like I would have never saw that coming, honestly.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. That again, another Sony IP that's just like put away in the vault. Like, we got a TV show, man. Where's the new game? Where's the PS5 Twisted Metal?
Like, this may drive them to do it too.
Well, I mean, like, why make the show and not have a game planned, like, at all? Like, that's so weird.
Yeah, that is strange. Make it similar to Streets of Fire from the 80s. I don't remember that one.
They did.
That sounds close to them.
They did do a really good job with the Last of Us TV spinoff. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't, but I've heard great reviews about it.
Mm-hmm.
I have. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes I don't know. It seems like recently they've been doing a pretty good job with these adaptations.
I think so.
I've seen a little bit of the One Piece live action series on Netflix.
That's my favorite show of all time, and I've never seen the anime. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I've never watched the anime. My brother is a diehard fan. He's watched all, you know, however many, over 1,000 episodes of One Piece.
Yes.
And I watched the live action show, and I was like, dude, I don't even need to see the anime to just watch this as like a standalone thing. I loved everything about the TV show. I thought it was great. Like here's the thing, like my brother's diehard into the anime and he tried to nitpick the first episode and I like literally I was like, okay, show me the first episode of the anime. And I watched it and I'm like, bro, the same thing happened in the live action that just happened in the cartoon that you showed me. It's literally the same thing. It's the same thing.
It with so many episodes, there's no way that they got.
Yeah,
all that.
there's
No.
there's
No.
it's freaking
No.
impossible. Like it's so much. Like
it's pretty spot on.
Mm-mm.
Like it's what okay, what wasn't spot on about it? It was pretty.
I mean, they
was-
do a good job. I think they do a good job summing up. But no, I'm a very big One Piece fan. I don't know if you guys know. I'm very of the anime. But they sum it up a lot.
Well,
I mean,
they kind of have to, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you know, because there's like literally 800 episodes of filler in One Piece. Like my brother, like there's like what, like 1,200, 1,300 episodes, and it's like
it's still going.
they were talking about giving One Piece like the Dragon Ball Z Kai treatment, where they cut out all the filler, and people were like, "Yeah, if you cut out all the filler, there's really only about 200 or 300 episodes of One Piece." Like,
It's crazy.
so they were like, if they redid the show without the filler, it would be significantly shorter. But like literally, like scene for scene, episode 1 of the anime and episode 1 of the TV show, besides a couple of dialogue lines that were changed, they were literally the same thing. And because my brother won't watch the whole thing because he's such a diehard anime fan that he's like, they're gonna ruin it. They're gonna ruin it. And I'm like, bro, first of all, they're not going to be able to make it word for word like the anime. They're just not. But it was a really good show, even if you haven't seen the anime. The acting was phenomenal. The casting was great. The special effects were awesome. And it made me care about the characters after just one season. And it made me want to watch the anime. Like, I just don't have time to watch over 1,000 episodes of a show. But it was good, man. I thought it was fantastic.
So, with that, I'm pretty sure I know AK's answer, but what is everybody's favorite anime series?
One Piece.
Well,
I
I figured that was yours.
If I could turn my camera around, my whole wall is full of One Piece. I don't have it on the gaming side. That's the anime side.
Okay.
That's tough, man. That's real tough because, like, I have different ones for different reasons. Nostalgia will always be Dragon Ball Z
Absolutely.
because it revolutionized anime in the West. Like it brought popularity to anime in the West along with like Sailor Moon and stuff like that in the 90s. But like shows that I have just been drawn to that have just blown me away. I mean, I'm going to sound like the cliche guy because I don't watch a lot of the obscure animes, but like Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, you know, they're fantastic. I really, really enjoyed a video game related one, Castlevania. I just watched that recently.
Yeah.
Fantastic anime. Like
On
it was
Netflix,
so
right?
good. Yeah, so good. I started the new one, Nocturne, Castlevania Nocturne. So far it's not as good as the first one, but it's good. It's worth watching. But yeah, I would say any of the big ones right now that I've seen are pretty good that I'm enjoying. I'm not like super crazy into anime. I do like it, but I watch a lot of the ones that I grew up with. Inuyasha, you know, Trigun, Dragon Ball Z, those kinds of shows will always stick with me. If I was going to say like anything about anime, I prefer a lot of the Studio Ghibli movies. You know, Spirited Away is one of my favorites. My Neighbor Totoro or Princess Mononoke. I mean, I watch all those with my kids. They love those movies.
All right. So for me, obviously, Dragon Ball Z is up there, but a couple other ones that like I can go back and watch over and over again outside of Dragon Ball. Initial D. So that's, I don't know if you guys familiar. They have a fantastic
dude, the
arcade game.
dude. You used
That
to
is goated.
remember you used to get the cards. And
Yeah.
dude, like with me and my friends, we would go to like the arcade and we would get the card, and you know, it would save your progress on the card.
Yep.
And we would race each other for our cars, and we would call it like racing for pinks, right?
Pinks.
Racing for pink slips, dude. Oh
Yeah.
man, you just unlocked
Yeah.
a childhood memory, dude.
Yeah, that show is fantastic, and I think it's like a couple seasons that I don't like subtitles. I'm not a fan of that, and it's crazy
Me
to be an
neither.
anime fan. I just don't, because I feel like I'm trying to focus more on reading than watching. It's very hard for me to kind of separate the two. So I'm not in the subtitles. So I think there's a couple seasons that are just in Japanese, but that was a fantastic series that drew me in just because like I'm a mechanic by trade. I was more into cars at the time, so it made perfect sense. But I think this anime is probably neck and neck with Dragon Ball Z, and I kind of feel like it took the lead, and it's only 2 seasons. It's why did I forget the name that fast? High Score Girl. I don't know if you guys ever seen that on Netflix. It's on Netflix. It's I found it on PlayAsia. I found the DVD set, and basically it's about this kid. It's, one kid is a boy and a girl. The boy is a huge gamer. Go figure. This is how it hit me. So my homeboy was like, "Yeah, you need to watch this," and I binge watched it the whole first season. So he's a gaming. He's heavy into gaming. That's all he wants to do. He's like flunking in school. All he thinks about is gaming, and he would leave school, go to arcades, play all day. So he's playing in the arcade one day, and some girls on this winning streak in Street Fighter 2. That's kind of the main game in there. And then this girl like punishing her, and it's the smartest girl in the school. Doesn't even look like she would play video games. So the whole story is based around them kind of catching feelings for each other, but it's really about him gaming, and that's kind of how they intertwine. But it's fantastic, especially for if you're a gamer fan. Like a lot of that stuff, they got like a lot of like Capcoms. They talk about Splatterhouse in there. They talk about the TurboGrafx 16. Like it's the dude had a Turbo Express in school, so it's awesome to see those type of elements in there. It's highly recommended. Probably everybody and their mom has Netflix. I would definitely watch it. I promise you will get hooked. I love that show. I watch it over and over again.
So if these kids are going to the arcade and they're talking about like the TurboGrafx and Street Fighter, obviously it takes place back in the early 90s.
It's like early 90s. They start middle school and they go into high school. It's awesome. It's only 2 seasons though, which sucks. Like I don't know who could pick it up and expand it, but I wanted to get the manga because I think the manga's a little bit longer. But
after 2 seasons though, it completes the story.
Supposedly.
Okay.
I feel like they can expand that, and I'm sure they have a big enough following that it would happen. Like I love that show so much.
I have another one.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have another one I kind of want to shout out. Spy X Family is really good too.
Oh, I've heard my brother likes that one.
That's only 2 seasons as well, though.
Someone in chat brought something up since we were talking about video game movies and TV shows. How do you guys feel about Borderlands flopping?
I didn't see it.
Did you guys?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, and I never played the games. I bought the games recently because I am interested in playing them, but yeah, I don't know much about it. I mean, if I went in to see the movie, it would literally be just as I've never played the game, so I wouldn't have any expectations, right? Like I know people were complaining about the cast being terrible picks for the characters. I wouldn't know that because I've never played the game. So like when people are like, yeah, that guy shouldn't be played by Kevin Hart, he's supposed to be played by more of like a big buff dude like Terry Crews, like I wouldn't know that. Like I would go in it just like with the One Piece anime, right? Like watching the live action show, I'm going into it with no expectations because I didn't watch the original subject matter or play the games or any of that. So, I have no idea. Someone also in chat did say that what really helped, because a lot of animes that get turned into live action don't really do so well. But he said the writer for the manga was on set helping with the One Piece anime, which is like goes back to like Shigeru Miyamoto being there like hands-on with the Mario movie. You're not going to fuck up our IP. That's a big deal. More shows need to do that with the original creators if they're available. Like you need to have them there so you don't screw up their artwork,
Yeah, or people that's like even if it's not the exact creator, but people that it means a lot to them to make sure. Like shout out to Sonic. I'm a big Nintendo guy, but from them putting out the first images and then going back and correcting, it's become a fantastic freaking series, movies, and the third one's getting ready to come out. I saw the preview. I saw Beetlejuice yesterday.
How was that?
The preview for that. It was good. I should have watched the first one before just to kind of bring my mind back. There's a lot of like weird stuff that I didn't know was like. Of course, I was a kid back then, so a lot of stuff I didn't really comprehend. But now I'm just kind of like, all right, it's a little strange. It was funny. It was good. I think
Yeah.
it had like a lot of the old elements in there, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, my wife hasn't seen the first Beetlejuice, so we're gonna sit and watch it together because I do love that movie, and then we're eventually gonna go see it when
Yeah.
when we get some time.
Yeah.
Um,
That was
but
pretty
yeah,
good. But so let's we about to hit the 2 hour mark, and I want to know what you guys have planned upcoming. Not only content wise, like do you have any shows that's coming up, or what are your future plans with content and like traveling to any conventions? We start with you, AK. What you got going on?
Yeah, so not really any conventions. I think there might be one coming up near me in November, but that's pretty far away. But I mean, as far as content, I'm kind of going on. Well, if you know anything about my channel, I used to do like a lot of like kind of rants and stuff like that about random things. So I'm doing another one coming up this week about simulator games and how they're weird. So I'll be talking about that. Doing more AK's archives, which is pretty fun. And yeah, that's about it.
That's a great series, by the way. I love AK's archives, so make sure y'all check out her channel. What about you, RectWizard?
still, I do my short form content primarily because it's easy with my schedule to get those out regularly. I do have 7 videos in the hole lined up that I need to start filming very soon. My SoCal video when I was a guest over there back in June, it's going to be a 2-parter. The guy who does some of the editing for me is working on the first part right now. It's almost done, and then I'll get that out. I have videos planned for the PlayStation 2 Pursuit. I got videos planned for GameStop and their retro stuff going on. So I have a bunch of long form that I have written down that are planned. Then I'm going to start working on. And then as far as a convention goes, I think I'm going to a local one called Lodi Con at the end of this month with my friend for her birthday. Me and my family are going to go with her. She's like a sister to me. So I'll check that out, see if we can find anything good there. But other than that, short form content and long form is in the works right now, and I'm going to start filming. I try to get my videos out, at least like I don't know, man. I have no strict schedule. I get a long form out when I can, you guys. Like, I apologize for that, but that's why I do so much short form. I try to do a short form video per day. That way you guys still have something from me. But like for me to get out a long form video every single week, it's a little hard with 2 kids and I work 12 hours a day. So it's tough, but I do my best, and I'm just a normal dude. This ain't my job. So, I appreciate you guys watching and sticking with me, but that's the plans moving forward. I got a bunch of videos in the hole I'm working on.
Awesome. So as for me, like you said, for everybody in the chat, whoever is your favorite creators, make sure you support them however way you can, because it's a job, whether you look at it or not. Like, it is very, very difficult. I have a schedule every Friday, and from getting off of work, got 4 kids and just got to do, handling stuff is that it's tough. It is very, very tough.
Yeah.
It takes at least a couple of hours to edit. Shooting is not that bad. Like, that's not really the major thing. It's really the editing and what goes into it. Like, it literally, I've done like a 10-minute video. It took me like 3 hours to edit. Like, it's really working. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, your content creators put in a lot of work,
Yeah.
So, but just want to say that. So I appreciate all the content creators, and I think that's why it's a really like strong community when we go to conventions and link up, because we all know that pain, that struggle, that grind that we all put in, especially for ones that's larger. And it really even doesn't matter, because if you're dedicated to it and you uploading often, we all share the same space and we all talk about different strategies and stuff like that. It's very, very difficult. So I always tell people, even if it's not me, support your favorite content creator, because they do a lot to try to bring you guys information and entertainment. But with that being said, I have a lot of work to do. So I'm trying to I should have been did this, but like, I'm off on the weekends, and I try to do that, be off and like relax and do nothing, or just do whatever it is I want to do, whether it's go to a local game store or whatever the case may be. But I need to take a day on the weekends to shoot and edit. But upcoming, of course, we're going to start. First, we're going to have the Retro World vlog. I got to work on that. That's fun. I always love doing the vlog videos when I go to conventions. So that's coming first. We're going to kick off Quest DS shortly, but I have some other things I got to be in between, which Mike alluded to earlier. So I have created a partnership with Nintendo where for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be getting a lot of games that I'm going to be covering on the channel. So within the next 2 weeks, it's going to be outside of my regular content. You're going to get at least 4 videos on 4 different Nintendo games on the Switch.
Awesome.
So that's coming. And so shout out to Nintendo. Thank you guys for that. Big time. Like that's goated. Like I can never do anything else in YouTube, but like that's enough for me. But as far as conventions, I am booked as a media guest for Torg, which is in Columbus, Ohio. That is November 1st and 2nd. So I'll be there. I haven't decided about Pittsburgh Gaming Expo because I believe that's in early October-ish. And I do have plans, which actually when I get off here, I'm going to pretty much lock in these 2 conventions. I plan on going to Retro Rick's Retro Fest. So Retro Fest and then Torg. I'm not a guest at Retro Fest unless Retro Rick, if you're watching this, come on, bro. But yeah, so those are the foreseeable plans. I may do, like I said, I may do Pittsburgh, but yeah, those are the plans. Torg and Retro Fest. But yeah, those are my upcoming plans and try to just bring you guys more content. I just hit a milestone past 2,500 subscribers. So thank y'all.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that. Shout out to Dan from JRPG Life. You guys don't follow his channel. Make sure you do. Him and his wife, Alyssa. Great people. And I was featured in like his last 2 videos from when we were back at Siege. And that was a great time. We had a great time. Dan's a great guy. He's been supportive and I've seen my numbers jump from that feature, so I appreciate that. Also, shout out to Morse Garage. I was with him at Retro World. Doshi Got Deals was in the comment section earlier. Shout out to him. Very young. He's now went full time with reselling, so support him in all the ways that you can. He's doing content. He does more of the interview style, which is cool because it's different pace. I can always appreciate someone in the space but doing something different, and I think that's kind of a special lane for him. So that's awesome. And like I said, support your favorite content creators.
For sure.
I thought you were Mike, you was ready to say something?
No.
Okay. I thought you were ready to say something. But guys, with that being said, we're going to conclude today's episodes. Be on the lookout for everybody's content. I'll have another video up next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be on the lookout for episode 10 of the upcoming Retro Podcast next Sunday, noon Eastern Standard Time. So, love on your family. Be safe. Keep gaming. We're out.
Bye.
Later, guys. See you next week.
Peace.